The New York Giants just got everyone's attention. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul, and this is Big Apple Sports. Take just a quick second before we get going. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to have a ton of Giants content coming out every day. Football season is almost here. You don't want to miss out. So just hit that subscribe button, and let's enjoy this fun Giants season together. So, I'm sure you've been paying attention to the Giants preseason. 2 wins to start off, and more importantly, they look like a good football team. I mean, Jackson Dart looks like the real deal, and people are starting to talk. So let's kind of look into what people around the NFL are saying. We'll start with Bill Barnwell from ESPN came out with 5 teams he thinks will improve this year, and he starts out with your New York Football Giants. You know, he mainly discusses how in the last season they really struggled in games decided by one score, had a couple really tough losses. You know, there was a Malik Neighbors drop that cost them a chance to win. A 2-point conversion almost helped them win. And he doesn't really even dive into like all the different things this team added. Like, they have a new quarterback. Russell Wilson is going to be better than Daniel Jones, and I'll dive into it here in a minute, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jackson Dart play this year, and he's going to be better than either of them. And then I think Paulson Adebo in the secondary was a huge pickup. Obviously, Abdul Carter just makes this already ridiculously good defensive line even better. This is going to be a good football team. The toughest thing that I think they're going to have to endure is right up here at the top. They have the toughest schedule in the NFL based on projections. You obviously never know what's going to happen this year, but based on last season's record, toughest schedule in the NFL. But I think the fact that they're on this list, even with the toughest schedule, just tells you how much higher people are on the Giants this year. Because a lot of the other teams on this list, I think the 49ers are next. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL. So like a lot of the progression they're expecting from these teams is just like, well, they went from a tough schedule to an easy schedule. The Giants are different though. They have the toughest schedule in the NFL, but this is a better team than the 3-14 they showed. And then, like I said, they've also made some big time improvements, and I think they're going to be even better than that. And I mean, some people are getting so hyped about the Giants. You got people saying, I think the Giants are going to go to the Super Bowl. And, I'm really high on them. I think playoffs are a possibility. I think this defense is going to be that good. Even I don't know that I'm ready to say, like, oh, Super Bowl. I'm not going to, one thing I'll always do here is keep it real with you guys. But it just shows, like, the sky's the limit with this team. Like, when you have a defense that can truly dominate the way the Giants defense is built to, all you need is a good offense, or like an average offense. Like, we've seen the Ravens with both Flacco and Trent Dilfer, I think, way back in the day, win a Super Bowl. You saw the Bears make a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman and Kyle Orton playing the majority of the year. Like, Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl. Like, you don't need to be, not every team needs to be led by Pat Mahomes to make a Super Bowl. If you have the best defense in the NFL and a competent offense, like, you're going to win a lot of football games. And I think people are starting to see that this Giants team is that. And one of the biggest things I've seen in preseason has been the performance of Jackson Dart. And not only is that just super exciting because he's the future of the franchise and he looks every bit the real deal, but even when he's not playing, I think it's big for Russ because it puts pressure on him. And like, Russ can't just come into the season knowing like, this is my job the entire year. He has much less margin for error. If he starts to make mistakes, isn't winning football games, every fan in New York is going to be calling for Jackson Dart. He has looked that good this preseason. It's going to be hard to keep him out of games. And then just kind of looking at the Giants' schedule, it's pretty tough to start. I think the Giants certainly are capable of beating one of these teams. Obviously, Washington was really good last year, and Kansas City is going to be good this year. But I think the Giants are capable of beating the Cowboys. I mean, they almost beat the Commanders at the end of last season. And I put out a video a couple days ago, maybe I'll link it here at the end, talking about, like, a lot of their O-line's been banged up. Terry McLaurin's been holding out. Some of their other receivers have been out with injury. Like, this is not a team that has been able to gel and get comfortable with each other. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they are a little out of sorts week 1. But if they do happen to lose these first 3 games, I think people are going to be calling for Jackson Dart. It's hard to imagine them not. Like, if you're 0-3, this is probably the perfect time to put in Jackson Dart. You got a home game against, the Chargers are decent. I think Harbaugh's a really good coach, but I don't think their defense is that imposing. And then New Orleans the next week is probably the easiest game on the schedule. And you probably wouldn't want to start him on the road in a tough Superdome environment. Probably not starting him with Philly. You're not going to want to start at Mile High or again with Philly. So if he's not starting by week 4, probably week 9 or week 10 or 11 in here is the next chance where you might see Jackson Dart. But either way, like, the pressure is on Russ. Like, I mean, he had a great bomb the other day to Bo Wilson in that preseason game. I think he's going to be solid. If you've caught any of my videos, I do think he's better than people give him credit for. I think the Steelers were better with him last year than they were with Fields, and I think he's going to do a good job of putting it over the top to Malik Neighbors and unlocking some of the skill players on this offense in a way that Daniel Jones and Tommy Cutlets were not able to do last year. But like I said, if he loses a few games early, Jackson Dart is right there. I mean, I saw RG3, Mike Tannenbaum, like guys who you see quite frequently talking football on ESPN and other news, both said this guy looks like a day 1 starter and an absolute home run for the Giants. So the pressure is on Russ to keep Jackson Dart away, and it's going to be a fun season. Like, people are I thought it was just me for a minute, but you look around the NFL and people are starting to realize, like, wow, this is an elite defense and this is an improved offense. Who knows what they're going to be able to do? They just need to stay healthy, and hopefully some of their young guys like Neighbors, like Tracy, like Scadaboo, like Abdul Carter, like Thibodeau just continue to progress and get better, and this team is good enough to make the playoffs. Giants fans, let me hear from you. Who are you most excited for? Do you think the NFL insider who said Super Bowl is crazy? Or do you think they really do have a chance to make the Super Bowl? Either way, drop me your season predictions. I think we all know they're going to do a lot better than 3-14 this year. I'm personally going to say I think they're good enough to go 10-7 is my official prediction for right now. I do reserve the right to change that if and when Jackson Dart is given the job, because I think he's going to be a stud. But Giants fans, let me hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Got a lot more great Giants content coming. Peace.